All right, let's get it started. We are playing Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, Subsistence version. And we are going to be playing with Radar Type 1 on normal difficulty. And this is like attempt number 3. I've had some technical difficulties. Getting my Genki set up. Not easy, man. Like, Genki is a good product, man. Don't get me wrong. I love this thing. But recording gameplay on a Mac, this is a little bit of a challenge. All right, the way we're going to be playing this, I am not going to be talking too much during dialogue in cutscenes. I'm going to let the story play out. I will be reacting wherever I can. Maybe pause it for whatever. But for the most part, this is one of my favorite games of all time. It's a true treasure, a true joy to be playing it again with you. I have promised you an excellent playthrough, one with no deaths. One with no deaths, and so a perfect game is what I'm promising you in this one. We're going to play it on normal, and we're going to be playing it with Radar Type 1. And then let's do it, man. Best version of this game, by the way, redone by Blue Point Games and HD.
The Hudson River, 2 years ago. We had classified intelligence that a new type of Metal Gear was scheduled for transport. The whole thing stank, but our noses have been out in the cold too long.
Check out the atmosphere. Just the mood, the vibes. It has a very distinct John Carpenter vibe. If you've never watched Escape from New York or Escape from LA, watch those movies, man. Like immediately after you watch this playthrough, obviously. Kojima gets credited for writing all of the scripts, but I'll tell you what, man, he does his best scripts when he's working with other authors. I feel, personally. You can definitely see it when you look at his more recent works. It's a little more, I guess you'd say, abstract writing style. Whereas back in the day, when he was working with teams of writers, I felt like just a much more cohesive. There was like a very good consistency of information. A lot more, and don't get me wrong, there's some goofy shit in this game. I mean, it gets nutty. One of the nuttiest games ever. And a lot of people think that Metal Gear is a realistic military shooter. It is not. It is a science fiction, fringe science fiction kind of a game. Almost practically like a superhero game. That's part of what I love about it. But it's all grounded just enough in realism that it's believable. One of the best all-time ever character intros. But completely unrealistic. He's bungee jumping in stealth camouflage. And then he cuts the bungee cord. Okay. Still awesome. I think a lot of it's the music. Harry Gregson Williams. Famous for a lot of film scores. Yeah, there we go. See, Harry Gregson Williams right there. One of the things that's very distinct about Metal Gear, they always set a tone and an atmosphere. They always have these dramatic intros. Very dynamic, very dramatic, very in your face, pausing for the right moment to showcase a character and what they represent. That's one of the reasons why I've always been drawn to this series. Very character-driven, very character-focused. I couldn't tell you a lot about characters in a lot of military sci-fi shooters. But Metal Gear I can. We should recognize Ocelot, Revolver Ocelot, from the first game.
Soon enough.
He was a double agent. Working with Liquid and Sergei Lukovich. So at this point, the PS2 had not yet come out when we saw this for the first time. It was really over the top.
This is Snake. Do you read me, Otacon?
Loud and clear, Snake.
Kept you waiting, huh? I'm at the sneak point.
Everything going okay?
The stealth camo's busted. Landing impact.
We must have overused it. Sorry, but you're gonna have to deal with it. You're not in the military anymore.
Right. I didn't plan on relying on this gadget anyway.
The private sector's not so bad, is it? Privacy guaranteed?
I'm happy as long as no one gives me any more unwanted gifts.
You mean that thing with Naomi?
And I can't say I miss the chattering nanny.
Mei Ling's not so bad. That reminds me, I have to get in touch with her again about that new Natick flashware.
Diverting toys from the SSCEN again? But give her a message from me. Someone will find out, sooner or later. She's better off assuming it's sooner and quit while she's safe.
Too true. Okay, Snake, let's get to work. You know how the technical specs of Metal Gear were sold on the black market after Shadow Moses?
All Ocelot's doing.
Exactly. And now every state, group, and .com has its own version of Metal Gear.
Not exactly a classified weapon for today's nuclear powers.
This new one seems to have been designed to wipe the floor with all the other models. The only consistent description is that it's an amphibious, anti-Metal Gear vehicle.
That explains why this one is under Marine Corps jurisdiction.
The codec calls are a great way to set up the
The
story.
mission objective is to make visual confirmation of the new Metal Gear being transported by that tanker and bring back photographic evidence. But I want you first to go up to the top level of the infrastructure, to the bridge. We need to find out where the tanker is headed.
A little reconnaissance, huh?
There's too much we don't know about this new prototype. Capabilities, deployment method. We don't even know how close it is to completion. If we know where the testing arena is, I can start to draw some reasonable conclusions.
All right, I'll head to the bridge ASAP.
Try to avoid confrontations. Our goal is to collect evidence on Metal Gear development and expose it to the world.
They won't even know
It
I'm
would be
here.
best if you could get out of there without alerting anyone.
No one will know.
Don't worry, I know the drill. We're not terrorists.
Very good. Don't you forget that you're part of Philanthropy now, an anti-Metal Gear organization and officially recognized by the UN.
Recognized, but still fringe, Otacon.
All right, let's look at your gear. Your weapon is a tranquilizer gun converted from a Beretta M92F.
M9.
It's a little hard to work with because you have to reload after each shot since the slide locks.
Better than scavenging at the mission site. Good suppressor, too.
The chemical stun will take effect in a few seconds and last for hours. You can take down an elephant with that thing. Check out the laser sighting, too. The effects of the anesthetic round will vary depending on what part of the body is hit. We're talking about a difference of tens of seconds between hitting limbs, chest, or head. As for the equipment... Hey, Snake! Cigarettes? What's wrong with you?
It's kind of a lucky charm.
You haven't read the Surgeon General's warning, have you? Here's the digital camera. Works almost the same way as your old one.
They give you a lot of fun toys in this one.
They don't look armed.
Hey, Earth to Snake. These are nice, upstanding Marines, not terrorists. Don't get caught. You're in stealth mode here.
Sure, and if it comes to that, a little beauty sleep never hurt anyone. By the way, Otacon, are you sure of this intelligence?
Absolutely. Hacked it out of the Pentagon's classified files myself.
No traces?
Oh, please. I'm too good for that.
But this might be a trap. Remember, there's a price on our heads.
You're just being paranoid.
I hope so. Those men, you wouldn't think they were anything but civilians from here.
With all the ships passing on the river and in the harbor, putting uniformed Marines on the deck would be a bad idea. People can get a clear view of the water from Riverside, too.
The water line is too high. According to the navigational plans, this ship should have discharged its cargo upriver.
It's in there, no doubt about it.
The military trains you to watch for threats from the stern on a boat. That's SOP for counter-terror ops, too. Security should be tighter.
You worry too much.
Where's the target?
Satellite surveillance is a major international pastime these days. I'd say the cargo holds, safely below the deck. Do you see the entrance to the holds?
Looks like there are a few entryways into the crew quarters. The chopper. What?
Oh. gruesome.
Looks like we're not the only ones after Metal Gear tonight.
Is that a chopper I just heard?
Affirmative. Probably another cavalry. What's their game? Hijack?
They're probably targeting the ship's controls.
Otacon. How many men do you need to take over a tanker of this size?
The ship is run by a computer, so I'd say about 18 people.
AKS 74U. Russians?
You sure?
No Marine barber touched that head of hair. I'm transmitting a photo. Let's get an ID on him ASAP.
I'm on it.
We know who it is. His face kind of looks plastic.
Now. KA-60 Kasatka.
Kasatka?
You can tell just from the sound.
Chopper, right? Killer whale.
We need to get a fix on who they are.
Judging by their transport, aren't they some kind of military commandos?
Not necessarily. It could be the KA-62, the civil model.
Look, Snake, all we need is the photographic evidence of Metal Gear. As long as we have those, we can put it online and blow the whole thing wide open. So no pyrotechnics, okay?
All right. I'll do my best.
This isn't like Shadow Moses. Reach me if anything happens. The frequency's 141.12.
How can I check in and save my progress?
I'll do it. There's a frequency set aside for it. 140.96. Sorry, but no Mei Ling this time. Call me on the codec when you want to save.
Got it.
I'll be waiting just past the Verrazano Bridge. You need to be off that ship by then.
I'll be in touch.
Okay, lots of things set up here. First of all, weird reaction. I mean, some dudes just got iced, and they're just casual about it? I don't think so. Second of all, really good exposition device, having the codec. So you can pull up the codec anytime. What's interesting about Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 is that you can use the codec to get information. Specifically, in this case, it's also it's how you save. Pretty convenient. You can save anywhere. Well, we're just going to go ahead and save often, even though I'm recording.
You, of course, know the saying, one for all for one?
He also gives you
What
other
is this
info.
all of a sudden?
Oh, I figured you'd need a lot of motivation, so I came prepared. It's from the Three Musketeers. The book, not the candy bar. Anyway, it means that if you go up against everyone by yourself, they'll gang up on you too, I think. Since you're on your own on that ship, you need to take this to heart and avoid confrontations. How was that? Just like the old days, huh?
Almost reminds me of Mei Ling. But you sure you got it right?
Of course.
He's trying.
And I'll teach you a lot more of these. You can count on it.
All right.
Great.
So one of the things that's kind of exceptional is that if you really want to dig into the world, having something like the codec, in the first game there was like 5 characters. Some of them you could go through a whole game and never even talk to them. I think Nastasha, you don't even have to talk to her. But sometimes you can just call to check in and you get all this like more information on their story and their backstory. Totally
Snake,
optional.
Switch to first-person view and look at the upper decks. See the sentries? Take them out in first-person view before they see you. Change to first-person view with a weapon selected. Once you aim your weapon with the weapon button, you're ready to attack in first-person view. Using the first-person attack allows you to shoot high or low. You can aim for the enemy's head or even feet. The L2 and R2 buttons let you strafe during first-person attacks. You can crouch too with the crawl button. Once you've mastered all the moves, you'll be able to do things like jump out from concealment, fire at a target, and then drop out of the enemy's view again.
Yeah, we already know all this stuff, but if you had never played it before, it's kind of nice. And then on top of that, if let's say that you're fighting a boss or something, and let's say that you don't know how to beat them, well, you can call Otacon and he might give you some insight. While you're in cover, you can use the right analog stick to look around a little bit. By the way, I do believe they increased the frame count, or the rendering frame speed, I guess you'd say. One of the nice things, I always find this to be one of the deciding factors of how believable a world is. Can you shoot out the lights? Oh yeah. I was doing a job interview at a game studio one time, and they said, what do you think makes a video game world more believable? Because I said that's like a really important part of making a game. And I was just a concept artist, so they just saw it as an annoyance when I said, well, you need to be able to cut ropes and shoot out lights. Because to me, as a gamer, I see that as like, is a believable world. Like, it's something that Zelda does very well as well. They're always paying attention to details that make the world a little bit more believable. Things that make the game feel like you exist in it. And the characters who live in it exist as well. And that includes even soldiers. Like, for instance, if you shoot them in the leg or the head, it makes a big difference. If you shoot them in the head with a tranquilizer dart, by the way, he's not dead. It's a tranquilizer dart. You shoot him in the head, he gets knocked out right away. You shoot him in the leg, and it takes a minute. He doesn't get knocked out right away. I am going to do all the cheap shots, by the way. When I say cheap shots, I mean... well, I'll do some risky business, because I want you to have a good time. You know what? I want you to have a good time watching. So I'm going to do some things a little bit more risky than I normally would, but I did promise you a masterful playthrough, so I'm going to show you some other neat stuff. When I was talking about believability, part of what makes this game so freaking charming and interesting to me is being able to do things like this. This is Otacon, by the way. He's just telling me I can go through that door, but there's also another door that you can go through. And I'm going to go through the other door because I want to explore it all. So in this game, so you didn't have to do this in the first one, but in this one you have to hide the bodies. And there are a number of ways that you can hide bodies. The most, I'd say, effective of which is this one that I'm about to show you. And when they released the demo of this, by the way, it came out with a game called Zone of Enders. And they released a demo that was just like the first area here of the tanker. So I played the heck out of this. And this is what Otacon was talking about first-person view, by the way. You can hold down the R1 button to go to first-person view. Some of these doors are locked. You can't go in them. This one up here is not locked. See, we'll see what Otacon has to say. I already know, but... What's up? Am I getting some slowdown? Yeah.
Snake, go through that door into the ship's interior. Push the action button down in front of the door and wait until the door opens before letting go.
Yep.
If you need to open the door faster, hit the action button repeatedly while you turn the handle.
Yep.
Make sure you keep doing it until the door is open.
Yep. Okay, so the thing is, this is I said before, this is my fourth attempt to play this. And the reason being, I had some technical glitches. The last time I tried to record this, no audio, no voice, like I had sound effects, just no audio. No audio in the game. Bummer. So if I hang out here too long, by the way, Snake will catch a cold. He'll start sneezing. There's some tricky stuff that you can do. I'm going to show you some other fancy stuff. And hopefully I won't get spotted here.
Freeze.
You can do a hold up. This is what I was talking about. Now there's some other fancy stuff you can do. If you run past them, and then look, if you aim at their head, they're like, oh, I don't want to get shot, don't shoot me. And then he'll drop his that's the dog tag. But you know what? Don't mess around with that too much. The Garrett Peters was a guy who won a contest, probably, and that's why his name is in the game. Dog tag, how cool is that? Okay, so there's like, I don't know, I think there's like 80 of those. I'm making up a number, because I really don't remember. There's a lot of those dog tags. Oh, I won a trophy. What was I going to say? Oh, if you shoot them in the foot, if you have a regular gun, they'll actually start limping. If you shoot them in the hand, they start asking you, like begging for mercy. And then furthermore, sometimes they just get bold. So you don't want to mess around with that too much, because sometimes you'll be holding them up and they just go, screw you, pal. And then they just like grab you and start shooting at you, and they'll knock you out and start shooting at you. So don't mess around with that too much unless you're feeling super cocky. This one is, I already knew this would happen. It's a little bit they put in there. Har. I'll just put it right back. Put that right back where it was. Where we're going is like right on the other side of that door. So this is one of the coolest things about the game, is the sneaking around corners, looking down corridors. You also have the radar up in the top right corner, which is very handy. You can't move while you're in first person view though. I find that a little bit, just a wee bit annoying. This room has some neato stuff in it that you probably couldn't do today. Specifically, you're not allowed to have beautiful girls in bikinis in your ultra masculine super soldier video games anymore. I guess that's sexist, but I can appreciate it. Anyway, different time, but whatever the case, these soldiers, since they're out, actually this is a civilian cargo ship. It wouldn't even be soldiers, but I imagine they're out to sea for long periods of time. I'm sure they would have stuff like that laying around, and it's that level of believability that adds something to the world. So what's cool about these lockers, notice that they are human size. There's a good reason for that. And what could that reason be? Well, there's this. Look at that. You can hide in there. And while you're hiding in there, by the way, the controller vibrates when they're close. Oh, hi there. Hey. I wonder where those, I think they were famous Japanese models at the time. Anyway. So you can also hide bodies in here. I'm going to leave this one open because that guy, you see on the other side of that wall there, he's going in that locker. Watch this. Let's see if I can do it. I'm going to choke him out. I don't want to... What's the choke button? Let's see if I can remember. I'm going to find out. Actually, I'm not going to choke him out. I promised you a perfect playthrough, so... You just shoot him in the back of the head. If you don't put them in lockers, by the way, after a brief moment, well, when I say brief, I mean like probably, I don't know, something like 6 or 7 minutes, they will wake up. In fact, you can shake them. Watch this. Watch. If you shake them out, you do stuff like that, you can actually get rations and ammo and other stuff from them. Nothing like rare or anything. You're not going to get like a weapon out of them or anything. But, you know, provisions. So you can store them in the locker. That's pretty handy, right? This is also, if you do get spotted, it's a good place to run and hide. Just run in here, hide in the locker. Hey, look at that. Put them in the hurt locker. Love this. Okay, so there's one other thing that I wanted to show you. You can do this, kind of like pop around the corner and then switch to first person view. And then he pops back, which is pretty neat. If you do the auto aim though, you get kind of messy, like it just shoots him like in the leg or somewhere, but you probably won't get a headshot doing the pop out. The pop out is generally good for stick ups. I actually never use it unless I'm in a fight. And if it's like I've already been spotted, you know, that sort of a thing. Now, here we go. There are 2 ways that you can go here. I am going to, what am I going to do here? See if I can remember the right way to go. This room is crawling right now, and I need to get around this corner, up those stairs is where I need to go. Now I can trank this guy, but you notice if you look at the map up there, there's another guy in that, on the other side of that wall. Oh, there he is. Just popped out. Boom. Now, if I shoot one and the other sees the body, he's going to go and investigate. Now, there is a sequence in which you could do this. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's just go ahead and I'm going to wait for the right moment, though. Because I'm going to shoot that guy when he's way over there. Well, this is going to take a little bit of crackerjack timing. Yeah, like right now. Boom. probably won't see me. Okay. And then when the other guy comes around the corner, I don't know if he's going to see him in the hallway or not. I'm going to wait for him to come out because I think he's going to come out right here. Yep, here he comes. Hey, don't turn. Oh. I was kind of nervous there. No locker to put these guys in, so I'm just going to go move on. Let's go upstairs. No, not that way. What about this way? There we go. All right, here we are. We're on the right floor now. What we're looking for is we want to get up to the bridge. That's what Otacon told us we needed to do. This door. Oh, wait a second. What's going on here? Oh, shadows. So this is kind of interesting. In this game, if enemies see your shadows, they will investigate. So keep that in mind. So this room here, this door, is the door that Otacon originally called us and said, hey, you can go in there. So I'm just going to show you so that it's very clear what I'm talking about. You can just go right into here. And this is actually the floor that you probably want to be on. So there's a bit of a, oh, but that guy reappeared. Let's hurry it up. Speed up by hitting that action button before that guy sees us. I don't know why they respawned. That's kind of old school game dev right there. Notice that the room is a little frosty. Kind of a neat trick. By the way, if you can't get enough of Metal Gear Solid 2, you can play through the GameCube version of a game called Twin Snakes, which is a remake of Metal Gear Solid 1 for the GameCube.
Freeze.
Ooh. This guy, I think, gets bold. Don't mess around with him. He's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. Yes, in Twin Snakes, it uses all of the game mechanics from this one, but it does them in the Shadow Moses location. So, if you got a hankering, it's expensive though. Getting a copy of Twin Snakes during the whole lockdown thing, just prices on retro games just skyrocketed. Very fortunately, that's one that I kept. Although you can play it on various, through other means, emulators and such. Is there a guy over there? I think sometimes there's a soldier. No, that's after. Okay. So what you got to do here is sneak under. Notice that there's that security camera. We're just going to go right under it. You got to stick to that wall, though. I know. Pretty crummy security camera if you could just hug the wall and go right under it. You can also use the shaft grenade. That'll wipe out that camera, or at least it'll shut it down long enough for you to pass through. This is a little hidden area over here where you can get a ration. You're going to need those for what's coming up here. This room is a cozy little spot to hide. If, let's say that you did get spotted by that security camera, you can cruise in here and hide. I love these kind of ventilation shafts. No other game even uses that. I feel like there's still so much room for somebody to go in and make just a game like this with more ways to sneak into bases, and it'd be so much fun. I'd love to see more. Old school though. Oh, what was that? Otacon? What do you got to say?
Snake, wait. Don't move.
I'm not moving.
I see it. Some kind of device on both sides of the hall. Infrared sensors?
Right. And they're linked to...
Let me guess. Semtex.
Exactly. Plastic explosives. If you trip the sensors...
I'll be sleeping with the fishes, along with this entire ship.
That sounds about right. There aren't that many infrared beams. Maybe you can get past those without setting off the explosives.
And a few ideas.
If you need to see exactly where the beams are, you can use the usual method. There's a fire extinguisher over there. Break it open and try scattering some of the extinguishing chemicals.
That's one way, but you'll set off you're probably going to alert that guy if you do such a thing. And I do not want to alert that guy. Before we do that, we want to head on over here and grab this cardboard box. Cardboard box is going to be useful. I mean, when you do this, by the way, immediately go into hiding. Because this soldier is going to come around. He only comes around if you go in here. If you don't go in here, he doesn't come around. That's the trigger. I don't know if you need to pick up the box or not. Anyway, he's coming in here to take a nap, basically. You can tell. Look, see? He's like, I'm so tired. He doesn't see you if you're under here, by the way. Like, I could be looking at his face, and he still won't see me. I don't know about the harder difficulties, though. So what you can do from down here is just hit him in the foot with a trank. Okay, it's going to take a minute. Maybe I could hit him in the butt. There you go. Look at how he got stuck. Okay. Let's crawl out. Here we go. Yeah, so check out the details on this. Oh my gosh. So this is the power of the PS3. Of course, this game was originally released on the PS2, and the level of detail. I mean, oh, this is an old texture. They did not up-res this one. Come on, Blue Point. What's up? But then the flower, this is good quality. What does that say? This is good quality Fein flower. Fein flower? Quality Fein flower. The flower. And then another thing. Oh, look at this. It's packed in Jamaica. Huh. You can also do neat stuff. This kind of believability. So in the demo, they give you like a rifle or something, and I remember just having so many gunfights in this room. I'm going to put an extra trank in his butt. By the way, you can also shoot their radios. So now, even if he wakes up, he can't call for help. So keep that kind of thing in mind. If you spot a soldier who has a radio, or let's say that they are about to call for help, you can shoot their radio out of their hand, and then they can't call for help. It's kind of handy. Let's see if I can get a shot on this guy. Ooh, that was close. Felt like he was about to turn. Turn around every now and then. I'll get a little. Oh, just so you guys know, you can use the SIGs, but it does deplete your health. But it is one way to spot these, or you can shoot this thing right here, because that right. I'm saying this thing, but I'm not showing you what I'm talking about. So, oh wait, let me stop smoking. Quit smoking now. Okay, if you shoot this thing, it does the same deal. You can see those lasers, and if you don't, this thing right here, you can shoot that, but not with your trank gun, not with the M9. You're going to need a more powerful weapon to destroy it, and then you're going to need the silencer for it too if you don't want to set off alarms. Oh yeah, layers upon layers. So there's a lot of different ways that you can play that out. I think there's a cutscene as soon as you walk up here. Yep. There's a dead guy. A couple of dead guys.
So it is the Kasaka. Russian choppers.
So Ocelot's working with the Russians. And by the way, little subtlety, did you notice that Ocelot had both hands? In the first game, he gets one of his arms sliced off by Gray Fox. Frank Yeager. So how does he have both hands? I'm gonna find out. Some great camera work, man. Oh, what a playground. The camouflage texture on their low poly bodies, I think, really helps to kind of hide the seams. PS1 era, most things had rigid body animation, which meant like arms were separate objects. This had like mesh morphing for shoulders and arms, but it
Snake,
distorted weird
did you
because of
find
the
out
low
where
poly
that ship is headed?
No, I'm looking at it.
modeling.
35 degrees longitude, latitude around 58.
More than 500 miles off the coast of the Bermudas, out in the middle of the Atlantic. So the prototype is ready for solo testing. It's basically combat worthy. That area is outside the Second Fleet's operational range, too. It must be a standalone Marine Corps project, which means this prototype Metal Gear must be designed for independent deployment, without any naval assistance. Anyway, analysis can wait till later. Snake, you need to go down to the holds and locate the actual metal...
Huh? What was that? Olga Verlukovich. Spoilers. Okay, so we can't see her. So this room, see, get USP first. Little bit of a subtle hint, little design info, inside info here. First of all, I love this. I miss this thing where you got like a rotating. Oh my god. My next game, I want to have like rotating ammo crates. When was the last time you saw this in like a modern day game? They just don't do that. Something about it, I just love it. This is a simple thing, but it's like so retro. Banjo-Kazooie style. They have the music notes. This is like USP ammo crate. So from a design standpoint, though, what's interesting about this is like we don't have a USP. We don't even know what the hell a USP is. But you can pick up an ammo crate for it. And that lets us know, hey, guess what, dudes? You're probably going to get a gun soon. Technical stuff. I'm a game developer, so I can tell you how some of this stuff works. In modern technology, you see this reflection on the floor? Subtle. And if you're not paying attention to it, you might not even notice that it's there. Snake himself is also mirrored, right? But what we don't know, and what we can't know, is that that's not a real reflection. They did not have the technology for real reflections in the PS2 era in 1999 and 2000. I think this was released in 2000, 2001. They did not have the technology for real reflections. So in games like GoldenEye, for instance, in games like this, like what you're looking at right now, is what you're actually looking at is that it is mirror geometry underneath a somewhat transparent floor. And that gives you a different perspective on it because the character himself is also mirrored. So everything that you're seeing is literally being rendered through a transparent floor that creates the illusion that you're looking at a reflection, but you're not. Oh man, they did it in the ceiling too. Look at that. Holy crap. I never even realized that. So that's why this has to be a separate room, and when we go through a door, it'll reload into a different... Is that a reflection of the room? No, that is the wing. But that's also why we don't see reflections on these windows, for instance, because this is glass. You would be seeing a reflection of the interior on there. But because you can't have a representation of the whole model outside of that window as well, you don't see it, or they didn't bother to do it. But it's so convincing. You know, little subtleties like that, details like that, are kind of what made this game stand out in ways that people didn't realize. And so a lot of times people give a lot of credit to just the director. He's kind of like a famous director. And maybe it was his insistence, but you know, that they do this. But I have to give so much applause to the development team for their technical ability to pull off such subtleties and details in the world to make such a believable world. This is absolutely incredible for its time. Nowadays, you can just put a reflection on something and it calculates it.
Control
Unreal or
communications
Unity.
and engine room are under control. All entry and exit points to the tanker hold secured. Infrared sensors placed and operational.
Good work. Are the explosives in place?
Yes, they are all planted.
Listen, once we have what we came for, the tanker will be scuttled.
And the vehicle's pilot.
He's the only one who underwent the VR training. No one else can do it.
Are you sure you can trust him?
Your part in the mission is complete. You are to leave at once.
No, it's not over yet.
I can see the moon, even in this storm, pale as death. I have a bad feeling about this mission. You swore this to me, that you would leave the unit once the mission was complete.
Do not worry, this is a country of liberty.
No, this is where I belong, with the unit. I have nowhere else to go. Father, I want to stay and fight.
There is no choice to make here, Olga. Need I remind you that you are carrying my grandchild?
You will be on the helicopter out of here now.
Damn it.
Freeze! Hands over your head, now!
Not very stealthy of Snake here.
Toss your gun overboard, slowly.
Why not just sneak up and choke her out? What are you doing? She's like distracted on the phone here.
A woman. Show your face.
You men, you're all the same.
Oh, she's got a gun behind her. Little subtlety. They show the viewer,
Nomads.
but he can't see it.
Wanderers.
She's checking the
I
wind.
said don't move.
Americans. Well, you should
Hairy
women
armpits.
too.
I know that too.
If you're a soldier, you're gonna get
What else
shot.
do you have there?
Man or woman.
Take the knife and toss it.
He doesn't see the gun, see? I never even noticed that.
Toss it
She's
over.
intentionally angling her body so that he can't see that she's got a
Hold
gun
that
behind her.
position. Now, turn around.
And she can't turn
You know what
around.
you're doing. It stopped raining. Not too shabby, is it? New York, I mean.
There it goes. Boom. So this was, they slightly shifted the camera angles from the original trailer. There it goes. Ah, so cool. Oh, love that camera angle when she's running away with the gun out. I used to freeze frame this
Brings our
stuff
tour to its conclusion.
Scout knife with a surprise.
and get poses like for my drawings.
Deserve a little credit. No one's ever dodged that shot of mine. But no one gets lucky twice either.
Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna do here. It's been a little while. Okay, I've got plenty of time though. We're not under a lot of time stress here.
I've been with the unit since I was born. I grew up on the battlefield. Conflict and victory were my parents.
There's a couple of things I want to do just to make sure that she can't hide behind that light. I'm gonna shoot it out because sometimes she'll blind you with it. And, oh shit, get out of here.
Except the unit.
Whee!
Nothing else matters to me.
I think I just squeaked. Oh, the other way.
Whoever you are, you're not.
The cutscenes actually interrupt gameplay. See, that's where she would have done that, by the way. That's where she would have used the light when it kind of closed in on her. Oh, I got a shot on her. But you got to wait for her. And this is the M9, which takes a minute to reload. Remember, Otacon was saying that. She's going to pop out. Ah! Sneaky. I am not doing good. My life is getting low. Eee. Aha! That's not it, is it? It's almost too easy. Come on. I cheesed it. I'll wait till we get to the vamp fight. Oh no, the sniper stuff. Oh, I'm not good with the sniper rifle. But I did promise you a masterful playthrough. I'm not gonna die. I promise I'll never die. More achievements. Trophies. Lights out, Olga. USP, baby. Oh, yeah. And we know exactly where to get ammo. Cypher. We didn't have to go beyond the PS2. Like, this was enough. I could have got 20 more games in this
Otacon,
style.
the ship appears to be under their control. The men have Russian gear, but I haven't been able to find out anything else about their origin.
I know who they are.
You do?
We've ID'd the old man,
Who is he?
Sergei Gerlukovich.
Lukovich, one of Ocelot's allies.
Yeah, he's the guy who sold the Metal Gear
the
to.
crew colonel. He's the one Ocelot was supposed to meet up with after Shadow Moses.
They're after Metal Gear.
Everything's changed. This is not going to be as simple as we thought.
You could say that. I saw a surveillance remote just now. It looked like the cipher.
A Marine Cipher T?
No, Army.
First the Marines, then the Russians, now the Army?
You're right. This isn't gonna be simple.
Snake, there's something I have to tell you.
What?
We didn't dig up this info about the new Metal Gear on our own. Not like usual.
How did you find out then?
It was a tip. An anonymous tip.
Anonymous? You've never trusted those. Why would you start now?
I have a younger sister, a stepsister. We have different parents. I only knew her for 2 years.
You've never mentioned her before. So?
The sender of the tip was E.E.
E.E.?
Her name is Emma, but I always call her E.E.
Emma? Emmerich?
Yeah, it just caught my eye, you know? I figured it was a coincidence, but I couldn't get it out of my mind. There's really no one out there who knows about her.
When was the last time you saw her?
Over 10 years ago.
You think it's a trap to lure us out here?
I don't know. After I got the tip, I did break into the Pentagon system to get confirmation.
Okay.
Watch your back, Snake. Maybe I screwed up.
I've got a light-equipped USP. I can take them on now. There's no ammo, but it takes a 9mm, just like the Marines' M9. I'll find those somewhere around here.
Don't raise too much racket with that thing.
I hear you.
Emma Emmerich. Otacon's a bit of a foolish guy. Okay, I won't dig into that. We'll get to that when we get to that part of the story. Okay, so from here, let's see. Now we have our USP with no ammo. We still have our M9, and we have our camera. Let's take some inappropriate photos of. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. How does this even work? Is it? There we go. Oh, close up of the armpits. There we go. I'll take a picture of her. Pretty cool. Lots of detail. I mean, one of the cool things about the camera, by the way, and she won't wake up, just so you know. So one of the cool things about the camera is that it really does allow you to zoom in on details. Like, check out the extra polygons for the straps over her shoulders. This outfit, by the way, if you have played Phantom Pain, you're going to recognize the outfit. Pretty similar to the traditional Soviet outfit that a lot of the soldiers in the Phantom Pain wore in part 1 of that game. You can store a bunch of photos, and these do actually go into like your save file, I believe. I think you get the camera throughout the whole game. There are a few other items that we can get in this area, including this hidden ration over here. And this is what she was saying. Kind of neat. Oh, we can of course go up that tower, and there are some handy little extras that we can get if we do a little bit of exploring. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh yeah, there's that reflection again. You see, slightly transparent floor. I can't remember. I don't think there's something on every floor. I think it's just at the top. And I believe it's the infrared goggles, which we will use. Is it infrared? What do we got? Yeah, thermals. There we go. So thermals are a little different in this game. Let's check it out real quick. This is more like the 1980s Schwarzenegger film, The Predator, thermal gogs. So you can see soldiers in rooms. It basically detects body heat. I personally don't care much for it. It's so bright and intense. But the bright, like all red, was really hard on my eyes too. This is all one location. Kind of a cool room. Call it a room, even though it's in a wide open area. So we got a soldier here. I don't know if I can make the shot. Oh no, he's gonna spot me. When in doubt, shoot it out. He took like 4 shots. Yeah. Because I need this. I need that other cardboard box. The wet box. The wet box will dry out. Let's get that USP ammo. Now with the USP ammo, I don't know if I can remember where the silencer for the USP is, but now we have USP bullets. So if I always like this inventory system where you can kind of like all your weapons are on the right trigger. It's the like R2, and then all of your items are on your L2 button. And then you use, well, actually you use it by just equipping it. So this is the cardboard box. You've probably seen this before. It's kind of a jokey thing. You can use this to hide from soldiers. I never use it in this game because I'm just so sneaky. I never have to use it. All right, that's it for this part. In part 3, we're going to dig into the underbelly of the Discovery and find the Metal Gear. And some other stuff too. Yeah, buddy. Like more girly pictures.